Hey guys, I'm Steph.
And I'm Richard. Question from SceneDollX3. Hello, I have a question. What kind of work I can do in Korea? I'm not living in English country, and sorry for my bad English. I love you too. I'm from Poland. I'm going on Korean University in Poland, so I will know the Korean language about culture, history, etc., but how to find job. I mean, how foreigner can do it. Someone who don't have Korean citizenship, please help. Before we start talking about it, check the description box below. These are the links that I found most quickly, and they will help you along with the information hopefully provided in this video. Boy, did that sound like an informational commercial.
Nice job. Way to do the groundwork, baby.
We both just did an international search for about 15 minutes before pressing record. We did them separately. What did you find?
What I found was, is it possible to get a non-teaching job in Korea? Yes, it is possible, but it's very competitive.
I think you're gonna have to search on naver.com.
I think that searching on Naver would certainly help. And yes, you probably would need to speak Korean extensively. I will say, we do live in the home of Samsung Electronics. There are a lot of international engineers that work for Samsung.
We got a question recently from somebody related to this, wanting to know if females can get engineering jobs if you're not Korean in Korea. The answer is yes, if you know how to search them. In fact, I've had a lot of students that were female. More and more females are going into the different engineering fields. And if you're a female interested in engineering, there are a lot of opportunities here for you.
I was just thinking...
It's true.
It is true. They're constantly building, they're constantly working on infrastructure. If you're into civil engineering, they're constantly working on building new smartphones and computers and technology.
Civil engineering is bridges and things out in public, not smartphones.
No, but that would be like electronical engineering and things like that.
Oh, the engineering.
Oh, the engineering. It's actually one of the easier fields to find jobs in. I also heard writing positions and editing positions if you're interested in that.
Those don't nearly pay as much though.
Yes, and engineering positions don't really even pay all that much. You'll probably get paid a little bit more than a teaching salary, but the expectations that are placed upon you for working in a Korean workplace are also going to be different.
What's happening here is the same thing that's happening in the United States. There's a widening gap in the middle class. So the people who are making more money are going up, 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 and then the people who are kind of in the middle are starting to get smushed down.
Well, we have a friend who's actually a female engineer. She has told us her work hours are very long. Sometimes she's required to work on weekends. Sometimes she sleeps at work because she's got so much to do. You know, Korean jobs, working for a Korean company is not necessarily easy. It's not a 9-to-5 job the way that it would be, for example, in the US.
Some of the jobs that are highly sought after by Koreans are government jobs. I don't know if government jobs would be something that you as a non-Korean without citizenship here would be able to attain. But those are jobs that you don't have to work past 5 or 6 o'clock and you always get all the government holidays off and you don't have to work these long hours like in private companies. We got a question recently also from someone who wanted to go into nursing. Can you be a nurse here? Yeah, you totally can. Are they going to require you to speak Korean to basically everybody who enters the hospital or the clinic where you work? Yes. So if you want to be a nurse here, you have one real requirement besides having your registered nursing diploma, which is Korean language.
This goes into another thing. What is easiest for people to hire? If you are Korean, if you have a Korean background, if you are Korean ethnicity and you are adopted, it's much easier for them to sponsor you with a visa than if you don't look Korean at all and you don't have any Korean heritage.
You try and think of this question or these set of questions through an employer's perspective. Do they want someone who's international or do they want someone who's more familiar with what's going on here? Most of them will probably say they want the familiarity of a Korean in that position, unless specifically they're looking for someone international, and that's where English teaching comes into play so much because that's one of the industries. What do they need done in order to make money? And what makes money? Building things makes money. Entertainment makes money. Education makes money. That's where the jobs are, really.
The other thing that I think about is, you know...
Sorry,
I lost my train of thought. I completely lost my train of thought. Ethnicity is very important. I'm backtracking to try to see if I can find it. If you have an F4 visa, if they can get you a Korean national citizenship visa, even teaching jobs, they're starting to look more and more for American-born Korean people, Canadian-born Korean people, Australian-born Korean people. Think about this. If you're going into a company and they have a choice, they can have somebody that speaks fluent Korean, is Korean, that will follow all the Korean customs, or they have somebody somebody who is from another country, who is learning the customs, knows some of the language, but maybe not fluent in all of the customs and traditions, and they can't push around like they might be able to a Korean person, who are they going to choose? Whoever has the most experience and education. One thing that I saw is they are looking for people who have not only a bachelor's degree, but probably a master's or PhD in the field and multiple years of experience, at least 3, within the field in their home country. Another thing that I saw was where you come from, what country you come from actually does matter as well. Because I was looking at different engineering job opportunities, and you know what surprised me? They weren't looking for Americans.
Oh yeah, what were they looking for?
People from all these different other countries, like Eastern Asian, Middle Eastern countries, European countries, but they weren't looking for people from North America.
I sat next to a guy once from Pakistan who was working for Samsung. He was just overjoyed to have a job. He told me some interesting things. I got to sit next to him for a while. One of them was he works 7 days a week. Second, he doesn't get paid as well as the Koreans.
Whoa!
Yeah, and I was, he wanted to tell me about it, and then he had to get off the bus. But I was kind of shocked by that, but they recruit in these areas of the world, namely that area where Pakistan, India, Afghanistan, the Kazakhstans, and the Stans, they'll take people from there because they know that they will want to work in Korea because Korea is attractive more than maybe their home country for employment. Then they don't pay them as well, but it's still a better wage than they would get in their home country.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense in a really twisted manner.
Another thing that's possible, and this happens a lot, or enough that I'm bringing it up right now, people who come here as a student, or they're here for some reason, whatever reason it is, once you're here for a year or two, your Korean gets better, then more opportunities open up, like a friend of mine from Ethiopia, who has been in our videos a little bit. The last time I saw him was working at a factory, and he only got that job because he's been in Korea a bunch of years. Factory is an hour and a half away from where his house is, so it's like bus, subway, bus to get there. But it's still a good opportunity for him because nobody at the factory speaks any language other than Korean, so his Korean's gotta go up, and he's also learning a trade or a couple of skills, and he's making money from it. So even if the money's not that much, he found that job because he had been in Korea for several years.
And that's another thing that I saw. If you want a job in Korea that's a non-educational job, you almost have to come here in person, look for the job, find the job so that they can see you, talk to you in Korean. You need to have your resume all in Korean, and you need to actively seek it out yourself, not only on the internet, but in person, so they can't just ignore you.
Yeah, and one of the more higher demand jobs at this point are translators, and not just Korean to English or English to Korean. Our friend Karim, who's a good friend of ours, is from Kazakhstan. He speaks Kazakh and Russian, Korean, and English fluently. Those 4 languages have catapulted him up. He is a high-level Samsung employee now that travels to Moscow, where he does business for Samsung. He's Samsung's representative. He actually travels back and forth in between Kazakhstan, Almaty, and Seoul. Every couple of months, he's one place or the other where he's doing business for Samsung. Samsung needs that. They're building reactors in Kazakhstan because Kazakhstan is still developing, and he's one of the key players in that development.
And yes, language skills are important. I have a friend who is Chinese, and she has actually done some Chinese-Korean translation. So that's it for today's Life in Korea.
Again, check the links in the description. They might be able to help you find what you're looking for if you're looking for employment in Korea. If you have a question for us, drop a note down below. We'll see it in the YouTube comments. Also on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Hallyu Back. We check that every day. The comment section on our blog, or on Twitter at HallyuBack.com. Oh, and we're doing daily vlogs, so check those out. Link at the top of the description box to our bonus channel. We do them 6 days a week, minus Sunday, and you can see a lot of
realistic
life in Korea. We said that at the same time.
I like this video. Give it a big thumbs up and subscribe, you guys, for Asian drama and life in Korea videos.
That's it for today's Life in Korea.
Experience it!
Check the description box. That's what I'm saying. Even if you don't listen to anything we say, there's at least 10 links down there that should be able to help you.
And do your own research too on top of that. If you really want a job, pursue it yourself.
Naver.com.